Hello everyone, PraisGood here, and welcome back to more of Tears of the Kingdom. Last time, we finally left the Sky Island where we had our tutorial. And now, if we wish to, we can go wherever we want, in whatever capacity, and do whatever we wish. We are free to explore. Now, before we go off and explore, a handful of things, of course outside of recording times I should say, or outside of like the actual game and whatnot story-wise, this is a new session for me. And as such, it is also because it is a new session for me. I have had some time to think about it. I've also edited a bunch of videos, and I've had time to think about things and how I want to present things, and also like to get more information via watching others' discoveries on the game. Now, I'm stopping my rant right here because, hey, guess what? Here's our first bokoblin in the game. It's just chilling because it's nighttime. Unless they are actively guarding a base of some kind, and even then they will. A lot of time, I really hope that wasn't a bladed rhino beetle. A lot of times bokoblins and other monsters will just be asleep when it is the dead of night like it is right now. So if you want to sneak up on enemies at night, is your best time to do it. Now, a newer thing, I'm going to say newer, but it's kind of the way to push the fuse mechanic in this game, is that every enemy you defeat in this game will drop something that can be used as a fusion material. Well, at least something new. Like the bokoblin horn here can be attached, much like the soldier's reaper, to a weapon to make it a stronger weapon. Now, there are a handful of... Actually, I'm going to get another weapon while I'm thinking of it here. There are a handful of enemies and whatnot. I'm going to get this because these actually kind of suck. There are a Where am I going? There are a handful of enemies in the game whose items that are dropped don't have like a significant... or don't have like a very obvious... A little lower, thank you. They don't have a very obvious, they don't have a super obvious item they drop, or whatever they drop doesn't obviously have a use directly right away as soon as you get it. But don't just discount the items, hang on to them, because they might be used for upgrading gear. It might be used for some other things. Oh, just a rock. Hey, a rupee. We have money. I'll be honest, this is the most amount of money I've ever had starting out the game. I think I was about 20 hours into the game when I ever got my first monetary amount. So now I'm kind of gathering up some bugs because a set of armor that I'm going to be going for, same like the last game, the last playthrough, is there is a very specific set of armor I'm going to be aiming for in this game. Also, you don't see me. I'm behind a tree. You do not see me. There's no beetle in this tree. Dang it. I'm going to be, starting out here, I'm going to be avoiding, like, enemy camps and whatnot, just because I would rather... I'm avoiding enemy camps just because we're in a very weakened state. Taking on enemies is a very big risk. Like, there's a good chance we'll die. But back to that. There is a certain set of armor that I used in the Breath of the Wild playthrough that I am probably going to be gunning for once again. And as I mentioned, bladed rhino beetles, which are on trees, is something I'm going to be aiming for a lot when it comes to for that, because I don't think I'll ever... Is there something up there? There is something up there. We'll die. We'll break off in the path. Bladed rhino beetles and beetles will spawn on trees as such as you see here. And those particular beetles are, for whatever reason, these beetles are always used in like some of the better gear for like their final upgrades. Also, okay, well, it's starting to become daytime out, so sneaking about's not going to work. Actually, what did I mark over there? I mean, I'm going to mark that now. But also, gosh, I hope they stay away. There's also that creature out there. Most people know as a bloopy. I'm going to talk about those bloopies in a little bit here, hopefully I can, in a function that is a little bit newer to this game, and also gives reason to why bloopies are so prevalent or they're so widespread in this game. Oh hey, I have 25 money. But let me actually make my way over to this tower. I'll probably have to fight, knowing my luck, I'll probably have to fight the fireflies despawn. It is effectively early morning now, so things are waking up. Bloopies have another function in this game, fire. And because bloopies have another more hidden function in this game, they actually are more prevalent. So you can use bloopies, much like you would in Breath of the Wild, to farm a bunch of money and whatnot, or you can watch them, because bloopies will always run to a new explorable feature, which we actually technically have already seen. We've already seen this kind of new explorable function that was added into Tears of the Kingdom. Hello. I heard a thunk around me. I wanted to... A bird? Oh, birds. It's just birds. I'm getting paranoid. Listen, I get very shook by the starting out this game because, like I said, until for a while, you can basically get 1 to 2 tapped by anything. Anyway, bloopies will always run towards cave entrances, where we can meet a new type of a creature. This creature is actually one of the creatures that will introduce you to one of the more unique features in the game. But first, let's grab their item, so you can know that they are called Horriblins. It's not very elegant, I'm well aware, but Horriblins... Oh, that is a very open area. Horriblins are basically cave-dwelling moblins. Yeah. They're not as strong as moblins, which we will see moblins later. Also, bright caps, nice. We will see moblins much later on in our adventure. But Horriblins are not as strong as a moblin, but that doesn't mean they aren't as deadly. In fact, they're equally as deadly just because of how they function. We didn't see it very clearly there because we basically burned it alive, knocked it off the ceiling. But Horriblins like to hang out in the ceiling. I'm gonna drop this rusty broadsword actually. Horriblins like to chill on the ceiling, and because they chill on the ceiling, they will. Oh hey, hi. Because the Horriblins chill on the ceiling, they are sometimes hard to reach if you don't have a bow and arrow to shoot them down with. So, if you are... double back to myself. So, because of that, Horriblins exist primarily in these caves. They can exist also other places, but they are primarily in these caves. Equal power. Okay, what bow can I replace that for? Nothing. Then I will not replace it. Construct bows, I'd have to read it here to make sure, but I think construct bows have like a hidden property. Right, okay. A very obvious hidden properties. Construct bows and weapons and anything of that sort. Think of it like the guardian weapons and whatnot from the last game. Construct stuff is basically fireproof, electricity proof. Oh hey, I missed an item. Fireproof, electricity proof, ice proof. It's element proof weaponry. So if you do see... Excuse me. If you do see anything that's... anything that's based around a construct or zonai, look into it because it'll probably save you some time down the road. Because it basically cannot be burned up or destroyed. Ooh, apples. And acorns. Yeah, acorns. Yeah, corn. Anyway, I'm kind of putzing around these little villas. Ooh, hey, new enemy type. Well, semi-new enemy. It's still a bokoblin, but they carry fusible items. These bokoblins that you're gonna... Oh. Okay. Those bokoblins that have backpacks on them are gonna be probably some of your best source of, like, I'll say, like, usable fruits, we'll say. But yeah, those bokoblins with the backpack on them will be your source of, like, a lot of reusable fruits and foods and whatnot. Well, Wait, you have a weapon that I don't have? Oh, it's a soldier's broadsword. That is slightly better. Ever so slightly. And we're done with this. And I suppose I can make this even better if I... Oh, is that a rusty halberd? I think it is. Okay. So here's something fun you can do. Horriblins actually are the reason why I know this. But this is actually something stupid fun you can do with halberds. Would you like the longest weapon in the game? Basically fusing 2 spears together gives you amazing reach. This will be it's a very useful tool for certain enemy types that show up much later in the game. So we will take advantage of that. I like how subconsciously I just started drifting towards Shrine when I should go towards the objective. Going for... Oh, this is here. Okay, we're going to talk about this for a quick minute too. Going towards Shrine should be your objective, but I'm trying to handle things in a specific way at the start of our adventure here. That way you have everything available from the start. Oh, hey, boss. You have everything available to you from the very start. So that way you can go anywhere without ever having to double back on yourself. And you can actually explore at your own leisure. Anyway, that is a new, divided my attention. I'll talk about it, but I probably won't fight it just because it is still well out of our league. That is a boss bokoblin. It's not a moblin. Mobs didn't get redesigned. They're still moblins, but boss bokoblins can basically command an army. They are also stronger. Not as strong as a moblin, but they are stronger. Usually if you see a... Oh, there we go. Usually if you do see a boss bokoblin, they will be... They will be commanding about a... Do I have any? I guess I don't. Alright. If you do see a boss bokoblin roaming about, they will usually have a party with them or a posse. And if you do see that posse with them, be prepared to fight a large horde. Anyway, sticky lizards. There are some new items and whatnot in this game that pertain to climbing, because I know you. I know you out there, general populace of player for... general player of Breath of the Wild who complained about this. People who complained about the climbing system when it rained. The devs did think about this, and there is a couple ways to circumvent that problem in this game. Also, new fish, glowing fish. So glow caps, glowing fish, things. Oh, hi, sticky lizard that died in the water. Apparently, you can't swim. But yeah, there are some. Huh. Lots of sticky stuff. Oh, it's the well. This is totally different. I was like, wait, where's the bubble frog? There is no bubble frog here. Wells are different. Yeah, so we basically got introduced to... we got introduced to something that will help circumvent a long-running grievance, and we got introduced to something that addresses a newer grievance with this game. Anyway, let's hop back up. So, we went in there because, well, I think you at least have to have it appear on your map. Oh gosh, hope they wandered away. You do have to at least have these appear on your map. You can kind of see it on the mini-map in the lower right there, but you do need to start having like these well icons appear on your map for another side quest. A side quest I'm not going to finish. It does have a very useless bonus completion, much like getting all of the Korok Seeds. But I will at least like try to help you find these. But I'm not going to find all of them, because the reward for finding all of them is equally as useless as finding all the Korok Seeds. With that all discussed, let's go around the roaming bokoblins and make our way to this very hodgepodge looking camp of sorts. Also, I'm just kind of keeping my eyes out. It was a while ago, and maybe I'll be smart and do like a weird picture-in-picture thing, but... Hold on, I want to actually pick up a couple of these worm darners. I think they are worm darners. Once again, for some reason, the bugs are like tied to the final upgrade tier for a lot of armors in this game, which I'll spoil right now. You can still upgrade your armor in this game. So if you see a bug, okay, that is a crane flying off. If you see a bug somewhere, It may be used for some final tier upgrades for some of your armor sets that you may like. So try and get them. But in a lot of circumstances, it doesn't have to be like your dead set focus. But the bugs can be used in other circumstances, namely elixirs. But anyway, this kind of hodgepodge fortress, making our way to it. Our way downtown, walking fast, faces past, and I am homebound. Now I don't believe this guy will be the first NPC you'll always meet. I believe there's well, you're naturally supposed to appear at this from the east, west, or north side. No, east, west, or south side of this camp. When you approach it, there will be a different NPC, but the dialogue here will basically be the same.
Is that really you? Where have you been? No one's seen you or the princess since you went onto the castle to investigate the gloom. And that's when the castle rose into the air. Everyone's been so worried about both of you. Pura has barely slept. She's been trying to figure out where you two went. At the moment, Pura should be in that building with the telescope. Please hurry there now. She'll want to know that you're all right.
So fun little thing about this guy. This is actually dating back to, I think about halfway between the release of Breath of the Wild and the fact that we knew Tears of the Kingdom was in development. Is a little factoid about the NPCs in this game. Is that a lot of them are basically like modified from Mii's. These are Mii character creation features here. So if you were to actually find Mondai's information in your copy of Tears of the Kingdom and edit it ever so slightly, or go into edit it, it would A, find the Mii feature in there in some capacity, but also if you edit those Mii features, it would directly correlate to Mondai's face here. Anyway, Lookout Landing. A very important area that will have some very important items. I'm curious how much this stuff costs. Not even close. And you can sell stuff. I guess minor tutorial thing about towns, at least what most towns will have. Outside of side quests, which, oh boy, we're going to handle as many side quests as I can find. Towns will have varying shops. Most time in the shops, if you talk to the person who is the head of the shop, which in this case is the lady here, might also be the guy here. They might be a joint partnership. I don't know. If you talk to the shop owner, they'll have some dialogue, and then they'll have an option that will say, buy for me, and you can sell some of your items to them. Items have differing values, but because we did get some rubies, yeah, we did get a ruby, the redstone, from up on the Sky Island, we can sell that for money, which we could use to get some better armor right out the gate. I may do that, actually, just to show that in better detail. A lot of towns will, either in the town or nearby town, will have a stable of some kind for horses, which me, and anybody who watches me play Breath of the Wild, me, I'm stupid. And I don't use horses. I usually run on foot. They've handled a lot of the issue with people like me who run on foot everywhere, in that a lot of the movement in this game feels faster. At least to me, it feels faster. And I think that's a majority of what's kind of in every town. It's like some way to help you with transportation, side quests, and a shop. Now, let's say hello to our old man.
Ah, what a fine afternoon! Hey you! Where have you been?
I'm going to forget his voice. We're going to talk to him multiple times throughout the adventures, and I'm going to forget his voice entirely. So Robbie's going to have a different voice, probably 3 different times.
Don't tell me! For now, you should hurry and go talk to Pura. She's been in a tizzy ever since you and the princess disappeared. She's in the building with the telescope, up on the second floor. Go see her and give her some peace of mind, will ya?
So Robbie will be very important for our Pura pad as we go forward. More discussion on that later. And Pura? I mean, you were a kid before. You were a kid before, but I guess kids got to grow up in the span of 5 years, right?
What?
Your name's Joshua.
They're here. Those eyes. Doc!
Oh.
Dr. Porter! The swordsman! The swordsman has returned!
Okay. Now where have you been? Linky, you're not a ghost, are you? Hey. That looks interesting. Phew. One step at a time. What exactly happened? So when you and Princess Zelda go beneath Hyrule Castle, you discover a mysterious mummy which suddenly reanimates. Then Zelda falls into a fissure and vanishes. That must have been when the castle rose and the ruins fell. Then, later, you wake up on a sky island, saved by the arm that was stuck to the mummy. You get the Pura Pad from an unusual creature, and learn that your new arm belonged to someone named Rauru. The Master Sword disappears. You hear the princess's voice, and find your way here.
Put your tongue back inside your mouth. Filthy. I'm not just talking to the guys out there. I know you ladies out there are doing it too. Put your tongues back in your mouth. Scooter, put your tongue back in your mouth. Okay.
What?
Then,
What?
are you saying you came from up there? Do I look like I jumped off of any other floating island in the sky? Do not look at the other 50 other islands floating above you. You can probably see from right here. I came off of that one. This Rara you met. I think that's what the first king of Hyrule was named. Are they the one the same? So much of this doesn't make sense. Yet. But I'm certain that mummy you found under the castle must be related to the upheaval. The castle rising up. The ruins falling down from the sky. The mummy must be connected to it somehow. And then there's the most important detail of all. You're sure that you heard the princess speak to you? And she gave you a clear message to find her? Listen, this happened about 5 years ago. Clear as day. I'm not hallucinating. Yet. If that truly was the princess, then that means she's alive. Maybe she's trapped beneath the castle and needs help. That settles it. I know you only just returned, Link, but I need you to meet with the search party up by Hyrule Castle. They've been searching tirelessly for you two. The captain in charge of the search is named Haz. Work with him to find the princess as quickly as you can.
Yes.
I know that mummy may still be lurking somewhere around there, which is concerning to say the least. But we have more immediate problems to deal with right now. I'm counting on you, Linky. And meeting with Pura specifically will activate this portion of the Pura Pad, where you can read into, well, character detail, profiles and details, and basically know more about a character. So, I kind of mistook another character you saw there, Josha, for Pura, kind of as a bit, but I only did that because in Breath of the Wild, that in the lower right corner, that's what she looked like. Now, you can read that more detail if you want to. In fact, there's a couple ways you can read Pura's story in more detail if you wish. But to give you the short of her story, is that Pura was like 120, like Impa was, Robbie currently is, and other characters in this from the Sheikah clan. And then she just went, hey, wait, what if age reversing? And then basically reversed age herself down to like 7 years old. And now I guess at this point she's done some refinagling with her experiment and has started aging properly again, albeit probably a little more expedited. So she looks like, she looks like she's whatever 20s or something like that right now, but she's got she's sharp-witted. She got the mind of like a 140-year-old right there. It's weird. Everything's weird. Don't worry about it. But with all that sciencey mumbo jumbo aside, everyone, thank you so much for watching this episode of Tears of the Kingdom. I hope to see you next time. We'll head off to Hyrule Castle, or where it was at least. I'll see you folks then. Take care.